Hey, what's up guys, it's your girl Kia, and I am back for another video in the car, one place where I do my best thinking. And I wanted to have a conversation with you about Black conservative YouTubers. And I talked about this a little bit last night on Life Will Circle Radio with Miguel Loy, but I really couldn't get into it because it wasn't really a part of the conversation. But Black conservative YouTubers are disturbing to me as a Black Republican. And let me be very, very clear. These YouTubers are not conservatives and not Republicans. They're Trump supporters only. They don't believe in actual Republican or conservative values. They believe in the values upheld by Trump. And if you're wondering which YouTubers I'm talking about Brandon Tatum. I'm talking about Amala. I can't pronounce her last name. I am talking about Stevie Knight. I'm talking about the Hodge Twins. When you look at their channel and then go through their videos, it is all bashing Black people. It is all posting videos of ghetto Black people doing something they don't like, or Black liberals and how they're stupid, they're liars, they're cheaters, It's all this negative stuff about being Black or being Black and Democrat. It's never about being white and Democrat. It's never about when conservatives mess up. Because when conservatives mess up on these channels, and again, you can go look at their videos for proof, they're making excuses and calling everybody else who points out these issues. What are they doing? What are they talking about? That's not true. These are lies. These are lies. They're putting that whole Trump is right no matter what. Trump supporters are right no matter what, and everybody else is stupid and ignorant and has no idea about politics. Well, I'm a Black Republican, not a Trump supporter, and I actually can point out the issues with both sides. I can point out the issues of we should not be having generational Section 8 or welfare. It shouldn't be passed down from person to person. That should not be happening. Hold on one second. This car is like... My AC is acting like has like a mind of its own right now, and it's insane. Anyway, it should not be generational. We should be focusing on helping out Americans here in the United States. We should not be bailing out other countries or helping other countries with their wars. We should be fiscally responsible. I am a Christian woman. I do believe in Christian values. I do believe that, our military should come forth and we should be supporting our military 100%. I am a Republican through and through. My idols are Michael Steele, Condoleezza Rice, and Colin Powell. Those are who my idols are. And in this days and age of Trump supporters now, Black Trump supporters, they're looking at those people like, oh my God, those are rhinos. They don't know what. They ruined America. Nobody ruined America. Like that's what kills me. Is that they wonder why, these Black YouTubers wonder why people aren't flocking to them. And as they like to say it, getting off the plantation. Okay, I'm going to be rambling a little bit. How do you want Black liberals or Black Democrats to come over to your side and hear what you have to say when you tell them they're on a plantation or you basically are calling them slaves? Constantly saying whenever any, Black person has a complaint about something, oh, you got a victim mindset. You got to get out of that victim mindset. What does that mean? If I'm pointing out racism, that does not mean I have a victim mindset. That means there is racism right there. There shouldn't be racism right there. And that should be the end of it. You shouldn't be calling me a victim for pointing out racism. Look at the recent scandal in the Republican Party, and then look at these Black YouTubers with these Republicans, saying, the young Republicans saying really racist, ignorant, xenophobic things in their text messages, and the text messages got leaked. There are Black YouTubers out there who are actually saying, they were just in college. They were not in college. These people weren't in college, making other excuses for them. These are grown adults who made decisions to say something really, really ignorant and racist, and they're making Republicans look bad. In my mind, as a Black Republican, we would want to get every single racist person out of the party who's ever said anything racist. We want to break ties when there are these marches in different cities of people, holding up Nazi flags and Nazi symbols and all this stuff. We as Black Republicans should be the first one to say, we don't want to be associated with that. That's making us look bad. Because it's true. That's making us look bad. I live in a city where there's a man now who stands on the street and does a Nazi salute as cars drive by. That's awful. We should not be associating with that. But that is not what is on these YouTubers' channel. It is constantly just showing caricatures of Black people in these situations and saying, you know, I don't want to live with them, or look how ignorant they are, or look how stupid they are, or look how awful they are. I mean, even Stevie Knight, and Stevie Knight's trending right now because he's having some beef with Abin Preach. But Stevie Knight had his review of Sinners just came out, and he was saying that the movie was all about hating white people, and that was the plot. And I'm like, did you watch the movie? Like, were you in the theater? And it's funny because as soon as he came out of the theater with his white girlfriend, he was saying how, oh, that movie was ass. That movie was ass. And then he went to explain, like, you weren't paying attention to the movie. You weren't listening to the plot of the movie. The plot wasn't we hate white people. That wasn't the plot of the movie. The actual plot of the movie was the white people, the white vampire who was supposed to be Irish born, realizing that he could get more control by bringing in the passion, power, and music of black people to get more souls to join him. It wasn't about race. It was the power of the music that he wanted to control. That's why he wanted the black little boy, young boy musician player. It had nothing to do with black people are bad, or white people were bad, or white people are racist. It was nothing to do with that. You know, and the Hodge Twins. Here's a really weird thing about the Hodge Twins. They've been around on YouTube for a long time. Their original videos were about fitness. If everybody is looking at them, you can tell they are very in shape gentlemen. They're buff. But their original videos and content were all about fitness, lifestyle, and wellness. And then all of a sudden, they got really, really political, and then they got really, really conservative. And listen, I get it. I understand. Their YouTube channel, prior to doing what they're doing, was not doing the best. It wasn't getting them a lot of clicks and views. It was, you know, doing okay, fine, whatever. But once they went to the conservative route, they started doing a lot better. Because listen, and I get it as a black Republican, white Republicans love pointing out that they have black friends. They do. So if they can say, oh, I'm not racist, or no, I'm well cultured, or oh, I have friends from all walks of life, and they're able to point to the Hodge Twins, or Brandon Tatum, or a Candace Owens, they're happy about that. And that's why you see these channels get flooded with views, because a lot of white people who, I'm not saying they're racist, who don't have a lot of black people in their atmosphere are now like, but I watch them. You know, and they think like I do, so they're cool. It's fine. You know, it's fine. And plus, if they need to say the N-word or whatever, it's completely cool if I watch them, because they're saying it's fine, no big deal. They can justify their life and how their worlds expand because they're watching someone like Candace Owens, or the Hodge Twins, or Brandon, or so on and so forth. I could go into the different many names that they can say. You know, I watch them. I'm culturally evolved. I know people from all walks of life. But in reality, you don't know people from all walks of life. You know people who have your same exact mindset and your same exact view, and you're watching them. And then we have people like, I think his name is Brandon Tatum. I think he's the police officer. He had a video out there because he went on the Whatever podcast, and he was talking about how, you know, oh, if my children passed away, I wouldn't cry because I want my wife to know that I am strong and that I'm here for her. I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't shed emotion. That's not what men do. Men stand up for his wife. Fine. There's a video of him crying about Charlie Kirk. Like boo-hoo crying about Charlie Kirk. And again, before everybody jumped on me or tried to take this apart, I am not saying that no one can be emotional about Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk's death was awful. I have said that in multiple videos. It is awful. It should have never happened. Never. But you got on your podcast in front of a lot of people, hundreds and thousands of people, and you cried about Charlie Kirk's death, and it was so emotionally hitting you, but you wouldn't cry over your own children. Like, making these types of statements doesn't make any sense. And I can't say that it's hypocrisy. I guess you could. It's just, I don't even know where to put a statement like that. I don't know where to put it. And again, when he cries, when he's getting emotional about Charlie Kirk, he's getting more views. People are saying, look, he is a black man. Even though Charlie said these things, he is a black man who really respects free speech and really respected Charlie. Look at all the different types of people Charlie reached. It's amazing. They can point to that and say that. And even on the, I have to stand up for my wife and not cry about my children, is like some weird version of conservatism where not even conservatism, Christian nationalism almost. We're saying, I am the head of the household. I have to be the strongest. I have to stand up for my wife and be strong and look to God for faith and da-da-da-da. And F these kids. it's hitting it in two forms, in different ways. It's just a weird thing to say, you know. And people are talking now about Candace Owens because Charlie Kirk's death, which I don't really want to say this on my channel. Charlie Kirk's death is hitting her really hard. She recently posted screenshots of a chat that she had with Charlie about Nicki Minaj music, which I don't even know how to say this, but I think other people have to agree with me. It's starting to look like her and Charlie had more than just a friendship relationship. Maybe not while they both were married. Maybe they knew each other previously and maybe they had hooked up at a convention or something. But she seems to, the route she's taking of being so gung-ho about the White House and MAGA and Trump having something to do with Charlie's death. I'm like, girl, you're usually off on the deep end, but now you're really out there, and now you're out there by yourself because you're not getting support from Democrats about this. You're not getting support from black people about this. And you're not getting support from the White House, of course. And you're not getting support from Charlie's family. You are just out here by yourself saying this crazy stuff. And which is weird timing because she's also trying to do this Blexit tour at HBCUs that is falling flat. And again, full circle here. The reason why it's falling flat is because you are talking so badly about black people constantly. Like, it would be one thing if it was balanced, where we're talking positively about things that black people do. Even if it's not political. Even if they all did videos about Misty Copeland and her final curtain call last night. That would be an amazing thing. And all the charity work she's trying to do. All the charity work of, I'm trying to think of somebody else that they would really love that they wouldn't find an issue with, but they would probably find an issue with anybody. I know they found issue with Beyonce. I know they found an issue with Jay-Z. I know they have issues with Cardi B. I know they have issues with, Marlon Wayne. There's so many black people they have issues with, but Missy, I feel like, is free to like. She's beautiful and talented, and who hates a ballerina? I think if they did more stuff like that, I think if they found positive angles or everyday hero black people who are doing good stuff in their community, you know, saving lives, feeding people, just something to show that it's not all hate towards your own people. And the Hodge Twins had to learn this lesson the hard way because they were like, I'm tired of living around black people. Black people are ignorant and stupid. And they wanted to go live in that all white town. I guess that's is it in Utah, Arkansas? I can't think of where this all white town is, but the all white town is literally what I'm saying. All white people who are saying they're not racist. They just want to live among themselves and how their way of life, whatever the hell that means. But the Hodge Twins asked them, can we come live with you guys? That would seem really, really cool. Let's come live with you guys. And they were like, we appreciate the support of our community, but we are an all white town. No, thank you. You can't stay here. Again, at the end of the day, to all these people, you can be conservative, but you are still black. I am still black. I understand what that means, that I am still a black person. And I love being a black woman. I love being a black woman. I love the culture. I love how my parents raised me. I love what they've instilled in me. And I happen to have Republican conservative views that sometimes clash with my mom and dad. Not often with my brother. I think my brother's an independent, but sometimes clash with my mom and dad. But I still love them. My mother is still a brilliant woman. My father is still a brilliant woman. Both military veterans, both Christians. Like, both had great jobs. Both had great jobs. They've raised children who went to college. Like, we all live a regular life. I'm pulling up to my home because of what my mom and dad have instilled in me. So you can be a black conservative. You don't have to be a black Trump supporter. And you don't have to sell out your own people for clicks and views and success. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, thanks for listening to my rant. Drop into my comments if you have an issue with anything that I've said. If you want to just call me stupid, because again, my other video has gotten a lot of white Republicans in my comments calling me stupid, calling me ignorant. Feel free to do that. I enjoy the engagement. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video.